This is the gargoyle of the front row fanatics, and you're watching my two good friends on Top Rope Reality.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to part 4 of the list.
That does
Episode 150 of Top Rope Reality. I'm Mike Hogan.
I'm just a Takata. Change the screen.
What did change? That's right, screen.
Is it? Raw, SmackDown, NXT? That's the right screen.
This is the one. See, 12 roster moves WWE must make right now.
That's my bad. I thought you used this earlier in part 3.
I did.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
What, for the...
Because it's Raw, SmackDown, NXT people.
Because you were talking about the
making the moves,
making
staying
the moves,
the same,
staying
yes.
the same. Oh, so we're reusing screens.
Calm down.
Look at us recycling. Anyway. 12 roster moves.
And number 7 is Baron Corbin to Raw.
At the onset of 2017, it looked like Baron Corbin was bound for big things, and he was well on his way to becoming a fixture in the main event scene. After strong showings at the Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and a Money in the Bank ladder match victory in June. Before he could cash in the contract successfully, however, he randomly lost to WWE Champion Jinder Mahal in fluky fashion on SmackDown Live before being decisively defeated by John Cena at SummerSlam days later. Needless to say, despite currently being in contention for the U.S. Championship. That's true. His stock in the company has plummeted considerably compared to a few months ago. A change of scenery could be what's best for Corbin, especially since Raw is the land of the giants anyway. With Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman, Big Show, Big Cass, and others already a part of the roster, that might mean he wouldn't stand out as much as he does on SmackDown, but at least he would have a fresh batch of opponents to work with, including Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, The Miz, and more. Maybe on Monday nights, Corbin can finally find his footing as a single star. Dun, dun, dun.
I think that'd be good for him.
I like the shake-up type thing. I mean, I wish they call it a draft.
Yes. But next time, at number 6, we'll do Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows to SmackDown Live.
Ooh, to be with AJ Styles.
And Finn Balor.
Right. Send Finn over there, too.
Yeah,
Have them all 4 together.
Up next is your favorite subject, WCW.
And I do remember this.
10 busy moments you totally don't remember, but you remember this one.
I remember.
Number 4, the Warrior, as in the Ultimate Warrior,
Yes.
kidnaps the disciple.
Exactly.
Brother Brutai.
Brother Brutai.
The Brutus Beefcake.
Yes. Did anybody in WCW have more names than Ed Leslie? When he wasn't Brother Brutai, the Butcher, ironically the man with no name. He was the Zodiac, the Booty Man, or even the Disciple.
Holy crap.
You didn't know all that?
I do remember all those names, but I just didn't put
He was
them
also
together.
the man with no face. He was the man with no face. Perhaps the only surprise is that he wasn't the hairdresser or the hedge trimmer, as a nod towards his gimmick of the barber in the WWF. By the time he was Hollywood Hogan's disciple in the NWO, Ed Leslie found himself kidnapped by an incoming Ultimate Warrior for the purpose of furthering WCW's biggest feud of 1998. It was pretty odd to see a supposed top babyface abduct another human being, hang him from his feet, and then offer to mentor him, though. It's very odd. He did offer to mentor him, though. It's very odd. Even more baffling, the One Warrior Nation, also known as the NWO backwards, OWN, or the Oprah Winfrey Network, as we like to call it nowadays. Even more baffling, the One Warrior Nation gimmick Warrior was using made no sense when the Disciple became a member. Fans generally remember Warrior's rekindled rivalry with Hogan at WCW, but not much attention is paid to the Disciple kidnapping. Because it doesn't make any sense. How are you a One Warrior Nation if you've got the Disciple as part of your group? That's 2 warriors. That's not 1 warrior. Well, it was short-lived, and thank goodness for that.
Next time, we talk about totally WCW moments you don't remember. The Giants smoking during entrances.
And you want to know something?
What?
I remember that!
You remember?
I do.
Smoking the stogie.
He did. He would walk in and during the entrance and smoke a cigarette all the way to the ring. Which, remember when R-Truth got in trouble for that?
I do.
In an arena? It was bad.
But remember, this was 1998. Not,
Oh, it was.
Not 2010.
That's true. Apparently it was a bigger deal, huh?
Yeah. Up next is 10 things WWE must do at Starrcade. If did they do them or not?
Did they do 10 things they should have done, basically is what we should say.
Number 7, avoid WCW bashing.
WWE just can't resist the urge to take a pop at WCW, can they? Cries of "We want!" ring out whenever an ex-WCW performer appears on screen. It happened when Sting wrestled Triple H at Mania 31, and there was even lines fed to the announcers during Goldberg's most recent run that reminded everyone how miserable WCW was. The truth is, it wasn't miserable. It can't have all been bad. Otherwise, WWE wouldn't be promoting an event called Starrcade a full 16 years after WCW's demise. If you're going to mention the Atlanta promotion at all when talking about Starrcade WWE, then please make sure it's positive. The us versus them mentality has no place here. Everyone knows Vince McMahon had the last laugh over Ted Turner, Eric Bischoff, and the entire WCW organization. So there's no need to use this as another vehicle to boast about it. Pay tribute to Starrcade's legacy and use it as an excuse to promote the current roster.
That's true. That's why they did that.
Hopefully.
I mean...
And hopefully they put it on the network one day, because they did have cameras there.
I know. I was waiting to after WrestleMania. Next time, number 6, we add more legends.
And we do know there was Ric Flair, there was Ricky Steamboat, there was Rock and Roll Express.
Mm-hmm. So...
Yeah. So that's pretty good. Pretty good.
I mean, they could... I mean, they've got the network. So they've got plenty of footage to do a great intro for Starrcade.
Tribute videos and stuff like that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Last but not least.
This is the last one about this?
This is the last one. Oh, the Montreal Screwjob. The 10 backstage stories about what really happened that night.
Oh, dun, dun, dun.
Bret knocks out Vince.
After the Montreal Screwjob took place, Vince McMahon had come into the locker room to speak to Bret about what happened. This turned into a fist fight. Bret recalled the fight in an interview with Sports Illustrated. Vince came into the locker room and received a warning from Bret. If you're still here after I get dressed, I'm going to punch you out. Vince did not leave. Bret recalls the two of them locking up, ready to throw punches. I got a good grip in with my left hand. I think everyone in the room, including Vince, was expecting me to throw an overhand punch. That would be my one shot, but then a bunch of guys would grab my arm, they'd grab Vince, and then we'd have a little pull apart like they do in wrestling. It would end with me yelling at Vince, calling him a bunch of names, and Vince would have left having backed me down. I knew as we grabbed each other that this was not going to be a long scuffle. Everyone in the room was ready to pounce on us. No one in the room wanted to see us fight. Bret cracked him with an uppercut, knocking him out cold. It was the most beautiful uppercut punch you could ever imagine. I actually thought it would miss and go right by the side of his head, but I popped him right up like a cork was under his jaw and lifted him right off the hand. I broke my right hand just beneath the knuckle and knocked Vince out cold. He thought he would have come out that okay, but he didn't plan on an uppercut. They dragged Vince out of the room and it was pretty much done. At least Bret got some payback for the incident. Thank you for talking about the situation. Yes. So yes, it did. It provided us with some different perspectives.
Yes, it did.
Some that were contradictory to stuff we've heard.
Yes.
Like they almost contradicted each other
Mm-hmm.
on some stuff. But we still do not know. Was it a work or was it real? Still don't know.
He said he punched Vince in the jaw, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Vince did the
He had a black eye.
He had a black eye.
Yes. Which I think was makeup anyway.
I think it was too. So.
Because he's hard to make it look like you have a broke jaw.
Again.
A black eye is more appealing to the audience. So even if you did get punched in the jaw, putting the makeup on the eye Oh, Bret hit him. Bret hit him. It makes it a little better. So.
It does.
Yes. But, so that's going to be it for the Montreal Screwjob stuff.
That is.
So, we'll have to come up with some more stuff, which
we've got something, yes.
We got some new stuff.
It's called Game Time.
Game time? What time is it?
It's game time.
Exactly. Are we going to get some news about what game time is? We're going to make them wait with bated breath.
Yeah, we'll make them wait.
I like it. You should wait right there.
Yes.
With bated breath.
Don't move.
Don't. For a whole nother, at least another week.
Yeah. Or till next time.
Or until next time.
Because the next time it starts, yes.
Dun, dun, dun. But of course, we're going to have ringside news, and we're going to continue on with the Monday Night Wars as we go into May, because we were in April.
That's right.
So we go into May this time for the Monday Night Wars. And of course,
hopefully the month will be a lot better.
Right. And of course, the new segment called Game Time.
Plus, more countdowns, more.
Of course.
More, on Royal Rumble.
Yes, we got to talk about more about Royal Rumble. Yes. And we should put a list together of who has declared themselves in the Royal Rumble for each of them.
Well, I've got something set up already for part 3. Which I don't know if it's next time or the time before. Could be the Royal Rumble weekend too. But the whole section of who they think may be in on both sides.
Right.
Plus some other things. So
I like it.
We'll figure that all out next time right here at Top Road. I'm Mike Hogan.
And I'm just a cow.
Thanks for watching in 2018 as we count toward episode 200. We'll see you next time.